news we read, news we hear, news we share. Trump-Kim Singapore Summit and News Headlines. Trump arrives in Singapore for North Korea Summit. Trump-Kim arrive for US-N Korea Summit. Hosting Trump-Kim Summit says something about Singapore's standing internationally, says PM Lee. Trump-Kim Summit. North Korean media silent on Kim Jong-un's trip to Singapore. Trump arrives in Singapore ahead of unprecedented US-North Korea summit. Kim Jong-un arrives in Singapore and meets with PM Lee Hsien-loong. Trump-Kim Summit. China plays an important role. Trump-Kim Summit. Impersonators charge $10 for photos. Trump-Kim Summit. PM Lee meets Kim Jong-un at Istana. U.S. President Donald Trump arrives in Singapore ahead of Trump-Kim Summit. How 11 U.S. presidents failed to make peace with North Korea. Fareed, Kim regime is brutal, but rational. Donald Trump prefers unscripted Kim Summit in Singapore to G7 ritual. Kim Jong-un arrives in Singapore. Trump and Kim may define Korea denuclearization quite differently. Kim Jong-un meets PM Lee ahead of Trump-Kim Summit. Donald Trump set to arrive in Singapore on Sunday evening for Trump-Kim Summit. Singapore deports KBS staff as security tightens around Trump-Kim Summit. Trump-Kim Summit. Motorists suggest routes from Orchard to Sentosa's Capella Hotel. Trump-Kim Summit. Laksa and chicken rice on the menu for journalists, who can choose from 45 dishes from 15 cuisines. Possibility of peace treaty at Trump-Kim Summit offers hopes and fears. Trump and Kim meet for chili crabs in Singapore ahead of historical summit. Kim Jong-un arrives in Singapore for summit. Foreign Minister. Trump-Kim act turns up at Bugis Junction Mall. Isolated Kim Jong-un takes big gamble leaving home for summit. Kim Jong-un's running bodyguards back in action again. In advance of summit, Singapore City on North Korea's border booms. Kim Jong-un sent 2 decoy planes and brought an army of bodyguards to Trump summit because he's terrified of. Trump says he'll size up Kim Jong-un within the first minute. Trump arrives in Singapore on Air Force One. Kim Jong-un rides Air China Mercedes-Benz in Singapore ahead of summit with Trump. Singapore deports Korean journalists for entering Korean ambassador's residence. Kim presented with new seafood restaurant in North Korea ahead of meeting Trump. Kim Jong-un meets Singapore PM Lee Hsien-loong. Trump, within the first minute, I'll know if Kim Jong-un is serious. Singaporean PM Lee Hsien-loong meets DPRK top leader Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump says he'll know, within a minute, if Kim Jong-un is serious about ditching his nuclear arsenal as 2 South Korean journalists are deported from Singapore. Trump admits unknown territory awaits in Kim summit. Trump-Kim duo make an appearance at Singapore Mall. The unprecedented security for godlike Kim's meeting with Trump. Trump-Kim summit. North Korean advanced delegation arrives in Singapore as security preparations intensify. Unprecedented security measures likely to surround Kim at summit. For Kim Jong-un, meeting Trump is about cementing power at home. North Korean leader, Singapore's PM discuss Korean Peninsula situation. Impersonators and kimchi burgers. Businesses capitalize on the Trump-Kim summit. President Donald Trump arrives in Singapore ahead of historic summit. Even if Trump-Kim summit clicks, Koreans might never. Pope Francis praised Trump-Kim talks leads to a peaceful future. Japan uneasy on prospects for Trump-Kim summit. One-time shot for peace with North Korea, Donald Trump. Isolated Kim takes big gamble leaving home for Trump summit. In bizarro world, Trump might triumph in summit with Kim, but at what price? strict and orderly Singapore prepares for Trump-Kim summit chaos. Trump is open to setting up a U.S. embassy in Pyongyang. Timeline: how the Trump-Kim summit came together. Korea sends 3 jets to Singapore ahead of historic summit. President Trump arrives in Singapore for historic North Korean summit. Summit with North Korea, one-time chance for peace, says Donald Trump. North Korean leader Kim lands in Singapore ahead of Trump meeting. Top Senate Dem. Trumping high wire act without a safety net on North Korea. Will Trump and Kim receive awkward diplomacy in Singapore? A successful Trump-Kim summit could be the prelude to war with Iran. Singapore preps for Trump-Kim summit with fresh paint and arrests. Trump leaves G7 summit early to prepare for meeting with Kim Jong-un. U.S. plays down hopes from Trump-Kim nuclear summit. President Trump raises the stakes ahead of Singapore summit. China cannot be left out on peace treaty. Trump arrives in Singapore for historic Korea summit. From madman to rocket man, the undiplomatic diplomacy behind the North Korea summit. News we read, news we hear, news we share.